So, check this out, people. Today, I want to talk about dating, right? I want to talk about dating because this is something that I've noticed since I've been single, and I've been single for a very long time, right? And I used to date. I used to date a lot. When you're single and when you have your own place and your own car and you make good money and you go home and you don't have much to do, then you're looking for things to do, right? And I used to look for company, right? If I wanted to go to a movie, if I wanted to go out to dinner and I didn't want to go out alone, I would go on to a dating site, for example, right? And if I saw a cute girl, I would send her a message saying, hey, listen, I'm looking for someone to do something nice with tonight. I'm looking for a date. I want to go to a movie. I want to go to dinner. And I want company. I want someone that I can share a nice evening with, right? And I've always noticed that a lot of women tend to use these filters, right? Especially older women, because I like older women. I used to date women in their 40s and up. I don't like drama and I don't like dealing with young girls who especially have children from two different men, right? And who have no class. There's nothing wrong with having children, even if you have children from two different men. But I draw the line when you have three or four children from three or four men. That's a little ridiculous. And so I also don't like drama. And these young girls tend to bring drama with them. But anyway, I've noticed a lot, even today still, if you go on certain dating sites, right? You will find that a lot of these women tend to be deceitful, more deceitful than men. How deceitful? They use filters, right? Now, a lot of these women don't need a filter. They don't, because they're pretty, they're beautiful without a filter. And so, for some reason, they don't feel they're pretty enough and they want to enhance their beauty. I guess makeup isn't enough, right? And so, when you end up meeting them, right, on a date, on the first date, you're not expecting to meet her mother. You're expecting to meet her. And when she shows up, she looks 20 years older because she's using a filter on her dating site, right? And then when you meet her in person, you see the wrinkles, you see the moles, you see the pimples, you see the lines that you didn't see in her pictures. And there's nothing wrong with molds, with lines, or with wrinkles. That brings out character in a person, in a woman. There's nothing wrong with that perfect type of beauty, right? That natural beauty. But when you hide it and you're deceitful about it, and then you meet the man for the very first time, and he's not happy with what he sees because it looks like he's dating the woman's mother who he just met online. And a man is not going to tell you this. He's not going to say to you, listen, you don't look like what you looked like in your pictures. You look different. You look 20 years older. He's not going to say that. He's simply going to eat. He might finish the night with you. And then the next day, he's not going to call you back. And you're not going to know why. You're not going to understand why. And I'm telling you why. That's because you're being deceitful. And for some reason, women tend to be more deceitful than men. A lot of these women, especially black women with their fake nails, fake hair, all that makeup they wear. And then when the guy wakes up with her the next morning, she's a totally different woman. She's uglier than a man. And, and so it doesn't make any sense how women are looking for real men, but they got fake hair, fake nails, fake eyelashes, fake lips. Everything is fake about them. Men don't do this. I mean, a lot of women won't date a man with a toupee. That sounds ridiculous, right? It looks ridiculous also. A woman would be embarrassed to go out on a date with a man who has on a toupee. Me, I refuse to date women who wear weaves. I think that's ugly, unattractive. I remember when Black women used to wear their natural God-given hair with their beautiful afros, their afro puffs, their braids. Incredible. Black hair is so sexy, but for some reason, Black women find themselves ugly when they wear their hair naturally. But they want a real man with their fake everything. I'm going to give you a quick story, right? I I wanted to go out one night, right? I wanted to go to a movie. There was a movie playing. I forgot what the movie was. This was some years ago. And this is before I met my girlfriend today. Um, I wanted to go out to a movie, right? So I went on one of these dating sites and I saw this woman. She was fine. Man, she was fine as hell, right? So after we messaged each other back and forth, I said, why don't I pick you up? Let's do something nice. We'll go out, we'll have dinner, we'll go to a movie, right? I stopped at a liquor store. I bought some wine and I went and I picked her up. She was about 45 minutes away. And when I picked her up, it was dark, right? I parked in front of her house. She came down the stairs. She got into the car. And as soon as I turned on the light in the car, this woman looked like a crackhead. I'm not exaggerating. She didn't have any teeth. Her front teeth were missing. Now, obviously, she didn't show any of this on her profile. No one says, I don't have any teeth, right? She had a filter on, so none of the lines, the wrinkles, unattractiveness didn't show because she had on a filter. And so here I am on a date with this woman who looks like a crackhead in my car, and I can't get out of it because I'm not that type of guy. I'm not going to say to her, listen, I'm sorry, this ain't going to work. I should have, and maybe next time I would, right? But the only thing that kept going through my mind was, how do I get rid of this woman without hurting her feelings? How do I get her out of my car? And how do I get out of this date? Because I do not want this at all, right? And so as I'm driving, I have an alarm that goes off every night at 9 p.m., right? Thank God for that alarm because it just so happened to go off while we were driving, right? And so when the alarm went off, I pretended that it was my phone ringing and I picked it up. And I pretended that I was talking to a client at work and that I had to immediately show up for work. It was just one of those things, one of those jobs that I have to show up because I'm on call. And so I pretended that I had to leave and that I had to drop her off. So I apologized to her. I told her I had to leave. I gave her the bottle of wine and I dipped. I was out of there. Okay. And this is the reason why most men don't show up the very next day after meeting a woman online because most of the time women are deceitful. These filters are deceitful. You can be honest. There's a woman for everybody and there's a man for everybody, right? But rather than a woman showing herself for who she is, the lines, the pimples, the moles, whatever it is, be real, be yourself. And I bet you $20 when you show up and that guy sees you for who you are, the woman he actually was attracted to when he saw her picture, then he's going to show up the next day. It's exhausting for men to go on dates with women who they weren't originally talking with when they show up on the date the next day. Or 2 weeks later, after chatting with a woman for 2 or 3 weeks, she shows up and it looks like her mother because she's been using filters. And that's very unattractive to a man. That's very deceitful. It's dishonest. And men don't like that. And you might come across a man who's honest, who's sincere, who's kind, and who could be your mate, but because you lied, you were deceitful, you were dishonest by using a filter, he was turned off. And I bet you $20 that if he had saw you for who you really were, because there's nothing better than a woman's natural beauty. Nothing. Nothing better. And when you pretend that you're 20 years younger, you're obviously not going to look 20 years younger when you show up. So what's the point of using a filter that makes you look 20 years younger? Don't you know that you're shooting yourself in the foot when you do things like that, ladies? And so you have to be honest from the scratch, from the beginning, because the opportunity to find a good man is out there, but you have to be honest. You want an honest man, you have to be honest. You want a real man, you got to take off those fake nails, fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake filters that you guys use. There's nothing wrong with putting on makeup and nice lashes to make yourself look pretty or enhance your beauty, because that's all you're doing when you put on makeup. You're enhancing your beauty when you put on lashes. But when you go over the top and you use these filters and you're being dishonest, the man is not going to show up after meeting you. The very first date is going to be the very last date with him. So ladies, you got to think about these things, especially Filipino women, because I notice Filipino women tend to use these filters a lot, and it's not attractive, ladies. When a foreigner flies to the Philippines to meet you for the very first time, and he sees that you look 20 years older, there's going to be someone else that he's going to find attractive, and it's not going to be you. So be honest from the beginning, and then this relationship that you're hoping for will definitely go a long way. That's my advice to you people, to you ladies. Be honest, be sincere, and you'll definitely be able to find a man that you can hold on to, that you can keep. You want honesty, you have to be honest from the beginning.